How are you, my fans, sneak peepers, and curious friends? I am difficult and demanding. If you want to know my real name, then hold still, and I might bring your wish to fruition. Before we begin, you can find this podcast show in iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Blueberry, Google Play Music, TuneIn, YouTube, and Stitcher. This is the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast, keeping it real, uncensored, and shooting straight between the eyes. The third eye, that is. I am going to hit you with explicit truth. This solo show is outrageously honest and keenly witty with a view into life. Yes, I said life. That's what we do every day when we wake up from sleeping. We are living life. Well, some of us at least. Let's get something straight. Really, really straight. I am truly, actually, habitually, and shamelessly difficult and demanding. And I completely own it. Now, I don't ask for much because I expect and receive it all. I firmly believe that if you expect shit, you will receive shit. What does that mean? Well, it means expect nothing but the best and don't settle for less. As always, I, your host, Tara, am keeping it real and uncensored. The only thing that is constant is change. Change keeps you on your toes and living life. I am change. I am your change. Come into my world and unplug from your life and dive all into episode 57 of the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast. Wealth, power, privilege. Okay, so you can attract a wealthy man or woman. You can even get a date. But why can't you keep him or her? Allow me to share with you some real advice on how to land and keep dating the wealthy, the powerful, the privileged. Before I begin, I am going to do a call out. What's a call out? Well, it's not a shout out. I am calling out you motherfucking lurkers. If you have entered my world, then be honest with yourself about it. You want to be here, and you know I want you here, so follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Finally, climb aboard and enjoy the entire show, because I am giving you plenty of ridiculous honesty. Once the podcast episode ends, I am keeping it going on my Instagram page at Difficult and Demanding and on my Twitter page at Mrs. D and D. For those of you that have listened to my earlier episodes, you will notice different transition periods. I like change, and I change my style according to how I feel. This is a creative journey with no final destination. So now, this is one of those moments. I'm changing my podcast format. I want it more real, raw, and unscripted. I don't know what this looks like, so may the gods help us. You've been warned. Everyone's creative process is different. And I'm ready for my alter ego to take over fully. I may use a news article as inspiration, a personal experience as my muse, or anything as inspiration. So, here's to the next leg of our journey together. I'm going to give you 2 points of views. One will be the little angel on one shoulder, and the other, well, you know what the other has, don't you? The other shoulder has the devil. The she-devil, as I like to call it. So as I go through whatever I'm talking to you about, you will notice shifts and how I describe or how I go into things. But I'm going to try to give you different points of view on what I'm talking about. And let's see how interesting this is going to be. I make no guarantees, but I am unpredictable, dramatic, highly entertaining. So you will hear what the fuck is going to happen before I actually hear it, because I'm just going to let it download from me and upload straight into you. I hope you enjoy it. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how long this lasts. But I think this will be much better, because I think a number of you like to connect to my alter ego. You like to connect to that part of me that's not preaching, that's not lecturing, but you like to connect to me, that part of me that stirs you, intrigues you, and lures you to me. So if my instincts are on par, which I think they are, I'm going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need. And I'm going to give you what you want and what you don't know you want and need. And let's see how this works. Let's see how long this shit lasts. Either way, it should be fun, don't you think? All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started right now. So I read an article, and this article was called How to Date a Lot of Billionaires. Now, this article was about two sisters, and these two sisters are from Canada. So I'm going to go through and give you some highlights and give you my point of view on the whole situation. So these sisters, they've had years of romances with a series of fabulously wealthy Nigerian boyfriends. And these sisters converted a bedroom in their home, which was bought by one of these boyfriends, to store their pricey spoils from their dating careers. Now, a number of you are probably wondering, what's so special about these women? Well, the first thing that you can imagine is that, yes, they are beautiful. They are physically very, very attractive. But here's something I want you to think about, a key word here. This article said that these women have had a series of fabulously wealthy boyfriends. Now you're probably thinking, wow, that's amazing. How are they doing that? How have they been able to do that? But I want to draw your attention to something else. The word series. Series means more than one. You see, these women are able to hook the men. They're able to get through the door. They're able to stay in the room for a period of time. But what you guys fail to realize is that they have not moved into the motherfucking house. They only have a portion of the skill. Anyone that has had a series of such high quality, quote unquote, high value men, what that tells me is that your game is not full. Your game is not motherfucking complete. Because if you can get someone of that caliber, why can't you keep him? Why can't you keep him? You caught his attention, but you can't keep his motherfucking attention. Now, why is that? What is it that you're not doing? Because if you have access, which you do, to men of such high value and high quality, what is it that you're not giving them? Because you're not giving them something. Because if you were giving it to them right, you were giving it to them good, why would they ever motherfucking let you go? Listen to what the fuck I said. If you are going to get someone of one of the highest caliber, the highest quality, most powerful men in this world, or woman, you don't want them to ever think about letting you go. Yes, think about what I said. You want to haunt them for the rest of their motherfucking life. Listen to what the fuck I said. No one should let you go. You should be the one that let them go. So if you're having a series of boyfriends, I can tell you this shit. You can hook them, but you can't keep the son of a bitch. You haven't figured out how to sustain what it is that they need. And you're thinking, well, how would you do that? Because you have to go beyond what is apparent. You have to get in their mind. You have to get in their heart. You have to get in their soul. You have to beat like them. Like their heartbeat goes boom, 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 boom. You have to live and breathe them. You have to understand them from the inside out. Once they're bored of you, you're gone. Men like that can get any type of exotic, beautiful woman from any place on this earth. You're nothing new. You're nothing unique. You want that man to live, to breathe for you, to yearn, to haunt you. You have to make him focus so intently on you that nothing else matters. Nothing else exists. You are his life force. You are his energy. And how do you do that? You intrigue the fuck out of him. You need to be mysterious. You need to be a mystery. You need to be unpredictably predictable. That's what I said. You need to be unpredictably predictable. Now you're thinking, what the fuck does that mean? What that means is you provide comfort, security, stability. But whenever you feel it's necessary, you always throw in an element of surprise, an element of intrigue, an element of mystery. You don't want them to figure you the fuck out. You don't want them to know who you are. You want them to know the essence of who you are, the spirit of who you are. But you never want them to motherfucking pinpoint who you are, because once a man or a woman can pinpoint you, the thrill is gone. The chase is gone. The hunt is gone. The desire, the passion is gone. You become just like any other random motherfucker that's out there. Now, why would you want to be that? You work so hard to concoct and construct this beautiful image of yours of how you portray yourself as a woman of high quality. If you're going to do this shit, take it all the way. Play for the long game. Play for the long shot. Why in the hell do you want a series of fabulously wealthy boyfriends? Men that rich is a small circle. They all know one another. So they're all sticking their wick pretty much in the same group of women. Now, to me, that shit is nasty as hell. Now, I'm not saying that the women are dirty. No, what I'm saying is if you're a motherfucking boss and you got the money to be a boss, why would you ever want to have someone else's spoils? Why would you want that? That makes no sense to me. The rarer you are, the more special you are, the more unique you are, the more high value you are. Yeah. I don't want a series. I want the right motherfucker. Do you understand what I said? That's what I want. You want the right one. How you get the right one? You are tuned to him. It's like a form-fitting dress. Now, what I'm saying to you is not about being fraud or fake. You need to be genuine and authentic in what you do and how you feel. If you do not feel what is necessary for you to do this, then you shouldn't be fucking with them. Not at all. So these women get all these pricey spoils from their dating careers. Yes, dating is their career. Yeah. And for their time, they are giving gifts of various sorts. Homes, cars, luxury vacations, private jet trips. Yeah. These are their pricey spoils from their dating careers. Now, here's the thing. If you are accepting gifts from your wealthy boyfriend, which is a perk, it is a perk. But let me tell you how common that shit is. I'm not saying that you should decline the gifts. I'm not saying that you should not enjoy the gifts. But when he's gifting you so many things, that's how you degrade your value. That is how you degrade your worth. Because then he starts to see you're just like any other woman that he's dated before. You begin to look like a woman that is solely after his money. Yes, you think because someone hands you thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on cash and you go spend that shit every time like you're entitled to it, which on some level you are. You don't think that man is watching what you do, how you do it? You don't think he's been around the motherfucking block? You don't think he knows what's up? The more you accept of his money, of his worth, the more you start to fall down the ladder as far as what your value is, what your uniqueness is. Now you're thinking, well, he has it. He's giving it. Why not take it? I'm not saying not to take it. What I'm saying to you is it's how gracious you are. Just because someone's offering something doesn't mean you have to motherfucking take it. You can say no and give the shit back. It all depends on how genuine you feel about a person. How genuine you feel. Because if you really want the person, you would pass on all that other stuff. Because it would not even begin to fulfill you like the person that is there. How can money be as fulfilling as a human being? Which is why these women, they have had a series of boyfriends. Men and women that are wealthy are not stupid. They got that wealth for a fucking reason. And you think that because they are generous, that they are fooled because of your beauty or whatever else you're bringing to the table. No. They're not foolish at all. They're very smart. They're playing you like a fucking puppet. Like a puppet. And they want to see how you dance and how the fuck you move. Because a real person who's there for them, they would be up under them like a bird, like a person up underneath someone's wing. You would not just be taking those gifts. You'd be like, yeah, thank you. Put it to the side. And you would be on them because your interest lies with them. Everybody, most people, they want someone. They want companionship. They want romance. They want intimacy. So if he or she are rolling out money and gifts for you and you're slopping that shit up, they will start to see that you are after what they have versus who they are. Which is why these two beautiful sisters have had a series of wealthy boyfriends. Yeah. You got to go beyond the surface level shit. You have to understand people. People want connections. They want to feel as deep as possible. And if your connection only goes so far, they will toss you because you're average, you're ordinary. You don't strike shit within them because once they get you, once they have you, your novelty loses its effect. Your effectiveness, your attractiveness, it diminishes. You don't want your attractiveness to diminish. You want to stoke that shit and bring it to life. Anytime you feel that it's going down, it's decreasing in its intensity, you need to know how to bring it back. You have to bring it back. And you bring it back with intrigue and desire. But if you're so busy accepting the pricey spoils of your dating careers, then like I said, you will end up going through a series of people. Now, these women, they had so many gifts that they took one of the bedrooms in their home and they lined the wall with 70 pairs of designer high heel shoes, glass wardrobe cases of handbags and purses. And no, they didn't pay for any of this stuff. Well, they said no, they did not really pay for it. But you know, in life, there's nothing free, don't you? What do you think the sisters are doing? What do you think they're doing? You know what they're doing, don't you? Question is, how well are they doing it? Like I told you, they got their foot through the door. They got their bodies through the door. And they may have ended up in one room of the house. But they haven't been invited to all of the houses, which is why they've had a series of boyfriends. And when I say invited to all the houses, they don't have any husbands. They don't have a husband, neither one of them. They have not gotten married. Now you would ask, how is that possible? I'm asking the same motherfucking question. How is that possible? You have access to some of the most wealthy, powerful men in this world. You're drop dead gorgeous. But none of them wants to wed you. Why is that? So they are not getting anything for free. So if they're not paying for it, you know exactly what they're doing. At the end of the day, it comes down to fucking now, doesn't it? Yeah, it comes down to that. And once he gets bored with you, he has enough money to give you money to go the fuck away and move the hell on. You become one of the objects that he was helping you buy. You essentially become that. Because if you have a wall lined up of shit and you're bragging and you're posting about it, I've told you before, they watch that. How do you connect with someone? You got to strip them of all that you see, all that you know about them. And you have to go deep. You have to see beyond what they show you. You have to look them deep in their eyes and see their soul. See their fears. See their insecurities. See their joy. See their failures. See their successes. See their worries. You need to see it all. You need to understand it. Why is this person this way? Why are they this way? Why are they with me? What is it that they see with me, they'll get with me, that they don't get anyplace else? You got to figure that shit out. Because when you understand what it is that a person seeks from you, they need from you, then you know how to create longevity. You know how to feed them. Not too fast, not too slow, not too much, not too less. You want to give everything just right. Custom. You want to pivot and alter as necessary through every moment, every day. You want to feel them. You want to vibe with them. You want to understand them. You got to do that because that is how you distinguish yourself. If you got to line a wall with all the shoes you have and take a room in your house to make it into a fabulous walk-in closet, I'm saying you're losing sight of what this is about. Well, what this would be about with me. That wall of shit, that shit gets old. It gets outdated. It gets out of season. So yeah, you got a pair of $70, 70 pairs of designer shoes, high-end shoes, unique shoes. But when your mate, your companion is gone, all you got is those motherfucking shoes, which are basically out of season, out of date. So then you start the whole process all over again. So you're trying to make them think that you're not with them for the money, but at the end of the day, you are with them for the money because you're sitting up there bragging, boasting, and posting this shit on the wall. You got to be clear on what it is that you're seeking. You got to be clear on what it is that you need and what you want and what the other person need and want. You see, but I'm very different. I'm very different. What I enjoy is desire. Someone desiring you to the extent that they want to consume every part of you with each and every one of their senses. They relish you. They worship you. They can't be without you, whether they admit it or not. Because that shit is intoxicating. Buying a pair of shoes, yeah, that's exciting. But that wears off. And then you need another pair, and another pair, and another pair. You see, but there's not another pair of me. There's only one of me. And I like the motherfucker to know that is the case. There is no other. There is no one. There is only me. There is no replica. There is no replacement. There is no motherfucking substitute. There's no second, third place. I am in a league of my motherfucking own. And you need to know that shit. And the only way that someone can know that is if you let it be known, you let it be clear. You see, getting all those motherfucking gifts, that shit is common. A beautiful woman with some intelligence can get anybody to buy her a motherfucking pair of shoes. That's nothing. That is nothing. That's nothing. But getting someone to obsess about you, to yearn for you, to long for you, to feel dead without you, now that shit is another league. That's on another level. That's out of the stratosphere. When you think of that person, your skin tingles, your mouth waters. You can smell them. You can hear their voice pulsating through you. That's some next level shit. That is what I'm talking to you about. Not this cash, this private jet shit. See, that is a fucking guaranteed mandatory. Let's start there with the mindset. Your mindset. If you act like someone putting you on a private jet is something new, something fun, guess what? They can tell you're a basic bitch. You don't like my language? I understand. Even if it's something new for you, you don't show that shit. Even if they bought you a Hermes bag, you don't show that shit. You stay cool, calm, and collective. If you decide to accept that gift, you say thank you very much. You take the gift. You look at it, you put the lid back on it, you set it to the side, and you look that motherfucker in his eyes and you make him hunger for you. Not just hunger for you physically. No, that shit wears the fuck off physically. No, I'm talking about something with you that you just can't get enough of. I'm talking about drug, an addiction, addicted to a person. Their essence of who they are, how they make you feel. If you know how to push someone's buttons in the right way, that jolts them full of life, that soothes them, that awakens them, that just takes them on all so many different rides and experiences on this earth, do you know what someone will do for you? Do you understand the magnitude of what the fuck I'm talking about? Where you make a person feel good. And when I say good, I mean good. The thought of you makes them shiver. Listen to what I said. The thought of you makes them shiver, makes the hairs on their body stand the fuck up. That is the shit I'm talking to you about. All this surface level, tight dress, makeup, high heels, perfume, that is everyday basic motherfucking bullshit. It is. Anyone can do that shit. Anyone that's attractive can put some makeup on and a dress and look fucking hot. No, you need to be hot on a deeper level. You need to be hot where you leave a motherfucker looking at you, staring at you in a trance in your motherfucking face and they don't know. Yeah. Oh, you think it's only for the movies? It's only for the movies for people who don't know what the fuck they're doing. You got to see people to do that. Read them, feel them, see what they're missing, see what they're lacking. And if you genuinely care for them as a person, that makes it even more powerful and potent. People love people who make them feel good. And y'all don't understand that. How powerful making someone feel good. Because the gooder you make them feel, the better you make them feel, they want to make you happy. They want to make you happy. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? The more you put into making someone feel good, feel their best, bring them goddamn life. Do you understand what they're willing to do for you? You don't need a motherfucking wall of shoes, a drawer full of watches. Fuck that shit. This person will give you the fucking world. Not a wall full of motherfucking shoes. They will give you the world because you get them. You understand them and you're there with them. You're there with them. You see them. But most of y'all don't get that. So yeah, the sisters, they're saying they're not paying for it. No, they didn't really pay for it. And one sister said, you know what? The only time that I go shopping is when someone gives me their credit card. Yeah, you know, that sounds fun. That sounds nice. That sounds audacious. Yeah, that sounds great. But to me, that's everyday basic bullshit. You're going to always have to find a new motherfucker to give you their credit card. But what are you building? You're having these wonderful life experiences. But like I said originally, you got a series of motherfucking boyfriends. There will be no series with me. Because I go in for the goddamn kill. I'm like a fucking sniper. Yeah, listen to what I said. I'm a sniper. I am a bullseye fucking shot. You don't want a series. Now, that's their prerogative. And my choice and my way of doing things is my prerogative. I don't want a series. That lessens my value. That lessens my worth and my point of view. If a man knows that his friend over in Malaysia has had you, and his friend up in Dubai have had you, and his friend up in, San Francisco have had you, so on and so forth, do you know what that looks like in a man's eye? Yeah, of course they all want to fuck you. You're beautiful, you're hot. They want a taste of that. They want a piece of that. So yeah, if they have to drop a few $1,000, tens of thousands of dollars, $100,000, that's chump change for them. That's nothing for these billionaire men. That is nothing. It's something to you, but it's nothing for them. So if they can get bragging rights to get a taste of who you are, they're going to do that. And then when they're done, they're bored. They're going to move the fuck on. No, you want to be that one. You want to be that one where they want to touch you, but they don't want to touch you. They're torn. They're going back and forth. When I say they don't want to touch you, it's because you are so precious. You're so precious to them that they want to make sure that they treasure you and treat you in the most sacred, special way. They would not jeopardize you. They would not diminish your worth. You are such a prize, a treat, that they would want to put you on a pedestal and hold you there and never motherfucking let you go. You got to be like that. Fuck a wall full of shoes. Fuck a room full of clothes. No. If you're dealing with someone that caliber and wealth, at the end of the day, that shit becomes meaningless. That becomes nothing. Because once that person's gone, your shoes will basically get motherfucking old. And unless you can get another one, you're kind of stuck now, aren't you? you're kind of stuck. How many miles you think you can put on your body? How many surgeries you think you can have to keep it up to par? That game only lasts for so long. You have a shelf life. These sisters basically had their lives changed abruptly. This is not something they planned on. They didn't anticipate at all. One of the sisters, she was basically fresh out of college, and she met a Nigerian petroleum magnate, which means a family that owns oil fields and oil, and they have generations and generations and generations of money. This is called old money in the U.S. They have so much money, it's like $100,000 is probably like a penny. It's nothing. It's no big deal. It's nothing to them. So these women, which is their fancy at the point in time, because they're in Africa, they're in Nigeria. So getting these Canadian women, Indian Canadian women, is exotic for them. It's something different. It's something that they don't have in the country. So yeah, they like to fly them down to Nigeria to show them that they got something unique, something special, something so different than all the other women there. You got to get a man in his head and understand him. He'll spoil you because he got it for a period of time, and he's going to get what he needs or want from you, which is a taste from you in one shape or another. How do you keep him though? Why can't you keep him? Why can't you keep him? You have to want to keep him because you've gone through a series of billionaire guys that you've dated. So why can't you just keep one of them? Why can't you do it? Some of them are married to other women. Yeah, I get that. Some of them are not. So why haven't you kept one? They test drive your ass, buy you a few bells and whistles, and send you on your way. Once you get used to that lifestyle and your mileage runs the fuck out, what do you do after that? You're sleeping with them for the sex and the power that they have, the stature. And they're showering you with gifts. There's some surface level of romance and feelings, but essentially there is nothing there. Why is that? You see, I don't do, like I said, what most people do. No, I don't do that. I am going to imprint myself on you. I am going to sear your goddamn soul. There will be no other. There will be no other. And with a person with generations and generations of money, they can have anybody they choose. But they chose you. And you should never want them to feel like they regret it, like you are basic, like you are common. No. You want them to feel like they found a star in the sky that no one else has found, and they're going to name it and not let that shit go, because that's what I would do. So when she met this petroleum magnate out of college, he flew them both sisters on private jets to France, then Greece, and then eventually they landed in Nigeria. There was a convoy of Mercedes that drove him to his home. Naturally, his home is a mansion with a pool and a litany of servants. Yeah, litany of servants. And then she jumped, one of the sisters stayed there at the poolside, and the other sister went over to Malaysia to go play polo with her new lover. I would not release my goods like that. No, because if this is your life, and I'm going to consider that this is a blessing for these women. If this is your life and this is your blessing, you want to play this shit much better than what you're doing. You don't want to be rolling through these motherfucking men. No. You diminish your worth. You diminish your value. As women age, typically how they're seen, how they're viewed, it decreases dramatically. So I understand they got swept up with something and their life changed dramatically. But at some point in time, they should have set the fuck back saying, okay, what does this look like? What does this mean? And how do I secure my future myself? The rules are different for men and women. They always have been. They always will be. It's a fact of the matter. How do you secure yourself? You don't get something for nothing. And when you're giving up something that priceless to someone else, you want to ensure that you get a return on your investment, kind of like a stock, over and over and over again over the years. A series of wealthy boyfriend is not the return I'm talking about, because basically each one that has you you lose your value. I hate to tell you the truth, but this is the truth. Ask any guy, ask any man, and if he tells you the truth, he's going to tell you the truth. The more guys, friends that he knows that you have been with or bounced around with, that will change how you are seen. That will change your possibilities and your fucking future. You may look like a high woman of value, but they know that you are not a high woman of value. Because if a high woman of value would not, one, have a series of these guys, which means you can't land a husband, and two, they want goods that most people have not had. But they are definitely willing to take someone who's hot, who is giving their goods out for a fucking Hermes bag. It's how the male mind works. Do you want to be a casual hookup, or do you want to secure and have a future and a companionship relationship, a marriage, if that's what you're seeking? You got two paths in front of you, and how you handle yourself will depend on which path that you have an option to have. A guy's not going to tell you, hey, I'm looking at your behavior and I see you as wife material. Or, hey, I'm looking at you and you're a nice girl. I think we can keep this casual and light. So if you like casual and light, great. If you don't want casual and light, and you're doing shit to make your relationship or your worth seems casual and light, you're going to end up screwed. You're going to end up confused. You're going to end up lost. You're going to end up with a whole bunch of motherfucking shoes, but you have lost the long game. Now, you may be saying they don't want that. No, I find that hard to believe, because they wouldn't keep dating these billionaire guys. They have to find a new one. Or as they like to say, the men find them. How is it possible that the men find you? If new men are finding you after you break up with one wealthy boyfriend, what that tells me, my love, is that they're talking about your ass. They have already laid out what it is with their friends, and they all know what to do and what not to do to get what the fuck they want from you. That's called predictable. You want to be unpredictably predictable. Yeah, that's what you want to be. Unpredictably predictable. You want to show what you're being shown. You want to behave and how you want to behave, and how the other person behaving with you. It's called the mirror effect. You give what you see. That's what you do. You don't do anything different. That's how you stay unpredictable. But when someone can predict what the fuck you're going to do, they're going to get bored of you. Men get bored very easily. Women get bored very easily. You have to keep things fucking fresh. How you do that? You do something different that you normally don't do, just to keep them on their motherfucking toes and keep them coming back. Don't let them figure you out. So when they got flown to Nigeria, within a few months, he bought her a condominium and began giving her a monthly stipend of $10,000 a month so she would not have to work. So he started paying her so she would not have to work and she would be available to him. Which means when he was available, he wanted her to cater to him. Take care of him, give him what he needs. Now, if she was doing that shit well, he wouldn't get rid of her. There would be no need to find another. There would be no need to move on. If someone is paying you $10,000 a month, let me tell you this, they want to be treated like a motherfucking god. They wanted to be known and understood that a God is in your presence, and you need to understand and appreciate that shit. You got to make him feel like he's a God. You don't like what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. It's the truth. If he doesn't want you to work, that means whenever he calls, you need to be all hands on deck ready. Now, what some of you may think that means is when he calls, you just give up sex. No, you got to play the game because that's what he wants. He wants you to make him chase. I don't care how much money he has. They all want to chase. They all want to challenge. They all want to figure out. They all want to unravel. And if you can make them do it over and over and over again with you, that's even better. But he was paying her not to work to be available. That means she had plenty of time to figure out what the fuck he needed, what he needed, how. She had plenty of time. She was shopping. I understand. But I would have been spending my time investing on understanding him as fully as possible to make sure that I stayed with him at all times. All times. They said, after a while, the relationship stopped working. And over the years, the sisters continued globetrotting with a succession of paramours. Yes, so they went from one wealthy boyfriend to the next over and over and over again. And they said, we don't find them. They find us. Dating wealthy men in Nigeria was very, very easy. You know why it was easy in Nigeria? Because Nigeria has a lot of Nigerian women. And these two women were different and exotic. And men want different and exotic. You see, here's the hard part. They looked different. They looked exotic. But behind that, they were everyday. They were common. You got to be the complete package. Not a half package. A complete package. A complete package. You have to understand the inner workings of their mind. Men that successful, men that powerful, they have a lot of responsibility. A lot of people that they need to take care of. A lot of expectations. They have a lot of different things. So when they have free time, one, they want something beautiful around them that makes them feel good. They want someone who touches them and makes them feel good. But what they really need and what they really want, unbeknownst to them, they want someone to touch them to their core, to jolt them back to life. You have to understand that their world is suffocating. Their world is heavy. Their world is black and white. Their world is routine. Their world is crush, kill, and destroy, win, and success. So if a guy is paying you $10,000 a month, he wants you to create an alternate reality for his mind and for his senses. And no, that doesn't necessarily mean lighting candles, strawberries, wine. No, to me, that's everyday common bullshit. No. If you do the shit right, you don't need candles and all that. Your words should impact him like you have lit unbelievable amounts of candles. Like you have chocolate and your word should make him feel like he is in a realm of bliss in heaven. Solely by your words. Can you imagine that? Not having to do all these extra things, which you can do is nice. But just to impact someone with your words and your presence, your being. That's some powerful ass shit because not a lot of people can do it. To stroke an ego. To inflate their pride. To make them feel powerful and all-knowing. That alone, you wouldn't have to lift one pretty ass little itty bitty finger at all. All by your mind. You can do that shit. Can you imagine? I know you're trying to. Your words are powerful. Your words create feelings. Your words create images. And your words stay with the person. If you want someone to desire and long for you, you have to know the power of what you can do with your speech. And if you do it at the right time, at the right moment, it's like stoking a fire. It's like keeping a fire going. You see the flame going down, you poke in the right directions, in the right areas, and that fire comes back up to life. That's what you have to do. Because that's what they need. They need to be replenished. They need to be rejuvenated. They need to be brought the fuck back to life. Yeah, fucking an orgasm, that helps. But they can get that from anybody, anywhere. They can get another beautiful woman from anywhere. But someone who can make love to their mind, their heart, their soul, you can't find that easily. And that stays with them much, much, much longer. Much longer. So eventually these sisters, they began to document their lavish adventures on social media. Yeah, they started taking pictures of it. That's another telltale sign of these women, their sincerity. You don't want to advertise, boast about the gifts that someone's giving you. The more special that someone is to you, you do not put what they do, how they do on display. No, because you're exposing them. Men like that don't want to be exposed. They want to be discreet. And if you're taking pictures of all the things that you're motherfucking doing and posting that on social media, you are diminishing your value, your worth. What they do for you, what they give you is sacred. You should treasure it like it's such. You should treat it like it's them. Now, I'm not saying that they buy your car, you don't drive the car. I'm not saying that if they don't give you a nice handbag, you don't wear the handbag. No, you don't go posting pictures of it and displaying it because you're showing how shallow you are. You're showing what's of importance to you. Graceful women, smart women, who's out for the long haul, you would never do that. That's some amateur shit. It's amateur. It's amateur, and I don't care who likes it or not. They say neither one of them would say how many billionaires they had dated. The women said that they are attracted by the power of who they are, what they do, and what position they have on the Forbes billionaire list. And there you have it. These women don't give a fuck about these men. Essentially who they are, if you strip them of their money, you strip them of their power, you strip them of their ranking on the Forbes billionaire list, these women would have no interest in these men. So the relationship is superficial. They're not really dating. It's not really dating. Because she is in awe of what he has and what he's amassed. And he is in awe of how beautiful she is. And she has his interest at this point in time. And he has enough money to buy her gifts. That is not a real connection. That is a temporary motherfucking connection. It's easy to get through the door. It's hard to stay the fuck in the house. That's a different skill set. That's a different goddamn game. You have to be of the highest value where they know there's no comparison. There's no other. And when you can get someone to understand that there's no comparison, there's no substitute, there is no other, there's no complementary, there's no supplementary, you are it. And a smart motherfucker will get their hands on you and hold on to that shit because they know they will never find another like you. That's how you want to be. So these women gave some advice for those who are looking for a sugar daddy or how to date billionaires. And the first thing they said is don't be greedy. The second thing that they said was observe proper jetiquette. Yes, not etiquette, jetiquette. And 3, bring back change when he hands you thousands of dollars. This is the advice they gave. And you people are thinking, wow, this is great. This is what I'm going to do. Yeah, this is what you're going to do. But let me ask you this. How are you going to find the billionaire and the millionaire? Do you know where to get them? Do you know where to find them? No. Right. First fucking mistake. 2, how would you identify who or what this person is? Let's assume they didn't boast. Let's assume they were modest. How would you know? Could you tell? Okay. 3, let's say you figured out and you could tell that this person was highly successful. How would you get their interest and keep their interest? Huh? Men with money have options. They have unbelievable amount of options. Do you understand what I said? Men love options. They love beautiful options because they can afford to do that shit. So when you have a competition with other women who are equally beautiful, what do? Huh? He can ask you or another lookalike. It doesn't have to be you. How would you get him? How would you rope him in? Do you know? No. And let's say you did get him to go on a date. And he took you somewhere lovely, luxurious, extravagant. How would you maintain and sustain his interest? Because most women will bore a man like that. You will bore a man like that. Do you know how to keep his interest? You think by looking cute and pretty, that's going to keep his interest? Oh, hell no. No. And then how do you keep him wanting you? And maybe wanting to spend the rest of his life with you. Do you know that? No. So this advice that these women gave is some straight up bullshit. Okay? First they said, don't be greedy. True. You shouldn't be greedy. Someone asks you what you want. And they said that you should not be greedy. You should not reach for over the top. Let somebody of that caliber ask me what I want. And you know what I'm going to tell them? I want you. I want you. I don't give a fuck about all the other shit. All that shit, other shit is a given because of the caliber of the woman I am. Listen to what the fuck I said. I just gave you a gem. You want a successful, wealthy, powerful man. And you're dating him or he's interested in you and he asks you, what do you want? What kind of car do you want? What kind of house do you want? What store do you want to go shopping in? You tell him, all I want is you. And you're thinking, shit, why the fuck would I do that? Why would I give up the opportunity to go motherfucking shopping and get a car? Because you know why? You don't have the sense to understand what the fuck is going on here. Do you understand when you make someone feel like a king, a god, a queen, or a goddess? They will shower you with the world no matter what. You don't have to tell someone of that caliber what you want because you know what? People like that, typically, they like nice things. They know what nice things are and they know how to pamper and spoil you. So if someone ever asks you, what the fuck do you want? You say, I want you, but you better mean that shit. You can't be fake about it. You can't be fraud about it. It has to come from the bottom of your heart and your soul. And if it cannot come from the bottom of your heart and your soul, then you don't say that shit at all. Because you won't be convinced. And then you will shoot yourself in the foot and cut your fucking head off. And you can consider that date and future dates over. You can only use that when you mean it. You feel it. It comes across in everything you do. But that's what the fuck I would do. You ask me what I want, I'm going to tell you, I want you. Because a woman of my caliber, all that extra shit, it's a given. It's a must. I'm not dating no motherfucking bus drivers. So when you automatically come with the air, the flair that, okay, yeah, this type of luxury car is a given. This type of neighborhood is a given. This type of shopping is a given. Fuck that shit. That's common. That's a given. That's my standard. My standard is this. When you already establish that your standard is fucking high, there's no question of what kind of car you have. If someone asks you what kind of car you want, you say, well, I want a BMW, I want Mercedes, I want this. Don't ask me no shit like that. That's already a motherfucking given. I'm not driving anything less than that. So I wouldn't even entertain answering that goddamn question because that is a motherfucking given with me. Do you understand? So when you understand your worth, you understand your caliber, you understand what you bring into the table, you don't have to tell someone like that what you want because they will already know. This is the level of woman that I'm dealing with. This is the level of man I'm dealing with. And I know they will not accept less than this. A person would not have to ask you because they already know your worth, your value. You have demonstrated that to them authentically and genuinely. So if you already said that your standards are luxurious, 5-star, up in the sky, don't ask me what I want. Don't ask me about that material shit. I want you. I want to connect with you. I want to merge my soul with you. I want you. Because all that other shit is basic shit. That's a given. I don't need to waste my time on that. Because once I'm done with you, making you feel good, happy to be alive, even happier to be around me and stay around me, all the other things fall the fucking place. You got to treasure people. You got to worship people. You have to adore people. You have to let them know that you yearn, you long, you miss them. You have to give them that. Do you understand how hard that is to find? Especially when you mean it. To give with no strings attached. Do you know how good that makes a motherfucker feel? Especially when you know your value, you know your worth, you know that son of a bitch is lucky to have you. Yes, you let a motherfucker know. Motherfucker, you are lucky to have me. Now, what can I do to make you feel good? Listen to what the fuck I said. Listen very carefully to what I said. You look at somebody and you tell them you are lucky to have me. You're one lucky son of a bitch. And since you're so fucking lucky, what can I do to make you feel good? Tell me, what can I do for you? What can I do for you? Because I'm going to send your motherfucking ass off a cliff. I'm going to pick you back up, send you off a cliff again. Then I'm going to pick you back up. I'm going to shoot your motherfucking ass in the sky. Then I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to shoot you a fucking space. I'm going to bring you back. That's what the fuck you want to do to people. You want to give them fucking shock treatment. You want to shock their motherfucking ass over and over and over again. So they say, whoo, I need more of her. Whoo, I need more of him. Where is she? Where is he? I need that motherfucker. That's what you want the fuck. That's what you want the person to say. You're going to meet many hot people, many beautiful people, many attractive people. But I can guarantee you this. No one will make you feel what the fuck I make you feel. No one will bring you to life like I do. No one will relax you the way I do. No one will do what the fuck I do. And because I know that shit, I own that shit. I am that. I know what I'm doing. Do you know what the fuck you're doing? You got to know what you bring to the table. But if you think dressing pretty, playing coy, asking for courtship is going to keep somebody like that, no, they can buy another one of you. But I can guarantee you me, no one can buy another one of me. There is nobody like me. They may look like me. They may try to sound like me, but no one is me but me. And I got this shit. I got it down. I got it down. I own all aspects of me. I own the good. I own the bad. I own the pretty. I own the ugly. And you know what that does? That shit makes me powerful. That makes me intoxicating. That shit makes me addictive. I get within you. And I make your motherfucking heart go bump, 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 bump. I speed it up. I slow it the fuck down. I take the fuck over. I consume you. I become you. I am you. Even when you're not with me, I am with you. Do you understand? That's the shit I'm talking about. Where there is no other. When you're not with me, you look for me. You hope to fucking see me. You wish that it was me. and you hurry to get the fuck back to me. Do you understand what I'm talking about? Because that's what the fuck I'm talking about. You see another beautiful woman? You can have her. She's not me. You heard another beautiful woman? You can have her. She's not me. Did you hear what the fuck I said? That's what I said. You catch a motherfucker looking at someone, you know what you say? Fuck you. She ain't me. She ain't me. She will never be me. Now what you want to do? Now what do you want to do? She is not me. Look where you want. Go the fuck where you want. But there's no one like me. And when you can carry that attitude, bye bitch, bye, and move the fuck on because you know there's no one else like you and you know motherfuckers will come back, that's how you set yourself apart in the game. So most of you think it's hard to find someone wealthy. It probably is. Most of you think it's hard to get someone wealthy to ask you out. Yeah, it is. Once you get the date, most of you will find it hard to engage and entertain. Yeah, it will. And then once you get that far and once they sleep with you and buy you a few gifts, most of you can't sustain the motherfucker. Can't sustain it. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to do it. You don't know what to do. You get so eager trying to impress, to please, to show them what the fuck to say. No, you know what the fuck you're going to see with me? You're going to see me. You're going to see me and what the fuck I feel at that time. What I tell you about intrigue and mystery. I changed the whole format of my show because I felt like it. Because I felt it. I felt a need to do so. That is how you have intrigue. That is how you get mystery. You may get a subdued woman with me. You may get an excited woman with me. You may get a passionate woman with me. You may get an aggressive boss mode woman with me. You don't know what the fuck you're going to get with me. That's what makes me fun. You don't get bored with me. You get bored with others, but you don't get bored with me. I am predictable, but I am very unpredictable. I do how I feel. You don't know what you're going to get with me. And that's what makes me me. Do you know what makes you you? So when the women said, don't be greedy, I told you that's some bullshit. I wouldn't be focusing on the money at all. I wouldn't be focusing on the gifts at all because that shit is standard. That's a given. To receive that shit, it's a given. It's a mandatory. You don't even have to discuss that shit. It is understood. Did you hear what the fuck I said? When you are dating someone successful, powerful, and wealthy, receiving and accepting gifts, that should not even be in your thoughts, your line of sight. That shouldn't even factor in a fucking equation because it's a given. It's a given. And let me tell you another clue. They said bring back change when he hands you thousands of dollars. If a man hands you thousands of dollars, you know what you tell him? No. You're like, what? You tell him no, thank you. Why the fuck you want to go do all the shopping? Hell no. You let him find those gifts for you. You let him take the time to find what he wants on your body. Because when you got him investing time and purchasing gifts for you, that means he's hooked. If a man is putting in effort for you, and the more effort he puts in, the more he's hooked on you. It's easy to take the money. Fuck taking the money. You want him to take the money and go buy shit for you. And if he's not buying it, get one of his assistants to do that shit. Either way, I don't want to do all that fucking work. I don't want to walk in the store. I don't want to try shit on. Bring that shit to me. Bring it to me. Now that's next level shit. Yeah, you didn't think about it that way, did you? Yeah, I got your ass. So don't fall for bullshit ass fucking advice like people like this because they're not telling you the real deal. And then they said observe proper etiquette, which means when you're flying on a private jet, you need to dress in a conservative way because you don't want to get off being a hoe. All that shit means nothing. Do you think these women are going on the fucking plane looking like fucking hillbillies? No, they're dressed up. They're dressed up. How they're dressed up? How you define conservative, that's your thing. But when they're getting off that jet, they want to look hot and ready for whoever they're getting ready to see. So you can't believe what the fuck they're saying. They're giving you fraud, fake ass advice. Best piece of advice I can give you is get to know yourself. A woman that can embrace the good, the bad, the ugly, the pretty with herself, you intrigue men. You intrigue them. They like that shit. They don't want a girl who seems pretty and perfect and patient and all those things all the time. No, they don't want that. They don't want that. They want everything. They want everything you have to offer. They want the good. They want the bad. They want the ugly. They want the pretty because that intrigues them. The bad, you know what? The bad allows them to help you, to be your hero. The pretty, it makes them feel, man, I got something of value. The good, everyone likes good. And the ugly, it's mysterious, it's dangerous, it's intriguing. If you can incorporate all those aspects and embrace who you are, that is when you begin to have real power. That is when you get to have influence. That is when you get longevity. And that's when you make someone want you, yearn for you, long for you, and fucking live and breathe for you. It's easy to take the cash. It's easy to take the gifts. It's hard to see the person, relish them, appreciate them, adore them, and make them feel like a god or goddess. Who gives away someone who makes them feel like a god or goddess? And I didn't say you're someone's doormat. Let's be clear. You have boundaries. You have self-respect and self-love. But the more self-respect and self-love you have and boundaries, the better you are equipped to love someone. You can rock their fucking world, shake them to the core. Now, some people can't handle that type of love and they will fuck things up and walk away. That's okay. You take your shit over to someone else. But me, I would not be hopping from a series of fucking rich boyfriends. No. I'm going to keep my value at the fucking highest. Priceless. Yep. I'm keeping my shit at priceless. Now, that does not mean that I would have a chastity belt on. That does not mean that I will lock myself in a closet. No, what that means is to get me, to get this, you got to be extraordinary. Because only an extraordinary man could get this. So it goes hand in hand. If I'm giving myself to you, naturally you must be a god because I'm a motherfucking goddess. A goddess does not give herself away to anyone less than a god. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you carry that air, that confidence about yourself, naturally, when you decide to share a piece of yourself, you're going to make that man or woman feel like, wow, I've achieved something. Wow, I got something. Wow, I have something that most people don't have. And then they start patting themselves on the back and start strutting around like a motherfucking peacock because they know there's only one of you and they got you. So shit, they got a prize. They're not going to let you go. And frankly, they're not going to let anyone come the fuck around you. Know your worth. Know your value, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and own it and use it to your benefit. Use it to your benefit. I've told you guys before, you have to embrace all aspects of yourself. Love it. Love it. See the positive in it. And don't be ashamed to show that shit. Don't be ashamed of it. Now, if it's too much for someone, it's okay. At least you know up front you can move the fuck on. Embrace that dark side of yourself. That dark side of you guys, you have no idea how much wisdom, power it has. It can change your goddamn life. It gives you confidence. It gives you intrigue. It gives you intelligence and creativity. It's a beautiful thing if you change your point of view, your perspective. So for those of you who would like to have wealthy, successful, powerful men, don't fall for bullshit advice like this. Don't do that. You got to take care of yourself. Eat well. Take care of your body. Dress well. Be intelligent. Be confident. Be comfortable. Be secure. Get your shit together. And they will naturally gravitate towards you. You don't have to be stuck up. You can be easygoing and nice. You just got to weed through the motherfucking crap to get to the gems, but anything is possible. So I hope you guys have learned something. I hope you have understood. Know your worth and live your life. And if your life is going around globe-trotting, dating billionaires, millionaires, do that shit. Own it. But if you're going to do it well. Because I'm going to tell you this. If I were in their shoes, if I was in their shoes, hell no, I would have a ring on my motherfucking finger. Nobody will be tapping this ass like tap, tap, tap. Fuck that shit. No one's going to be tapping me and then I'll be moving on to another. No, because anyone who had me, They're not going to want to tell another motherfucker about that shit. You know why they're not going to want to tell a motherfucker? Because that shit is going to be so goddamn good and so motherfucking priceless that they don't want to share this shit with anybody else. They're going to say, it's mine. It's mine. How is she? I don't know. They're going to lie. If a man or men are finding you, that means the motherfuckers you've been with are talking about you. And they want a taste of you. Nobody who has me is going to tell another motherfucker about me. Did you hear what the fuck I said? They're going to keep me a fucking secret. Yeah, they're going to keep me a fucking secret. Anybody with some motherfucking sense is going to keep me a goddamn secret. And that's the fucking influence you want to have. Where a man doesn't even want to tell anybody else about your ass because they don't want anyone to know. They don't want anyone to get a whiff. They don't want no motherfucking competition. They're so grateful and happy to have you. They will keep you on a pedestal, cherish, love, and worship, and they will watch you like a motherfucking hawk because they don't want anyone else to get you. That's how you want to be. If men are coming to you, someone's talking about your shit. And apparently, if it was that fucking good, they wouldn't be telling any motherfucking body. And if it was that fucking good, they wouldn't have let you go. I'll talk to you guys the next time. Come back next week. Are you disappointed this has come to an end? Well, it doesn't have to. Reach out and let me know what you think about this episode and my podcast. You can try and slide into my DM, but I will kick your ass out. So I suggest you hop into my DM on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding or Twitter at Mrs. D&D, or leave a comment on one of my posts. Boredom lurks around every corner. It haunts us and reminds us of its existence. I am the cure for your mundane life. Find me on Instagram at Difficult and Demanding and follow me. Episode 58 is here on December 28th, 2018 from the I'm Difficult and Demanding podcast.